it's a whole different, level to talk. We need a long time to talk just to cover the testing life cycle. But just for now, understand that testing, it has its own life cycle, whereas similar type of, number of phases involved up there, so that the tester, they perform, they add, they as per there is a number of activities they are supposed to do, and that's all together, that's, you can say, testing progress, or a process. And that process, it's based on that process, your implementation, your code design, is everything will be rely, because you are the final person, the tester is the final person, give you the green signal whether the product can go to the deployment or not. So tester is play is very significant role in software development life cycle. Okay, now, what is software testing? As I already give you a little bit idea, overall, if I say in a nutshell, the software testing is a method to check whether the actual your software product matches the expected requirement, and to ensure that the software product is defect free. The purpose of a software testing is to identify errors, gaps, or missing requirement in contrast to actual requirement. So testing process, it's a two types. It's a one is a manual, and it's one is automation. Let's have a little bit, key differences between the manual and automation. So what is the manual testing? So manual testing is done usually, by a human being, like a QA, we say QA analyst, where automation testing is done by the use of a script, by the code and automation tool, but everything have to be controlled by also tester. The manual testing is a time-consuming process, whereas automation testing it's a very fast and very reliable. Manual testing is possible without programming knowledge, whereas automation testing is not possible without a programming knowledge nowadays. You need to know, at least one programming language nowadays if you want to be a automation tester or automation developer. The manual testing allows random testing, whereas automation testing does not allow random testing, because it follows the script. So whatever the script you have been written for the automation, and there is a priority, it will execute as per the priority. But in a manual, you can do some exploiter testing or ad hoc testing. You jump on anywhere on your system, and you can do some quick testing. That in that point of view, what if you need some very quick or random testing, that's manual testing is good. So that's a little bit, just key difference between the manual and automation. Let's say some very very quick one, practical manual testing versus the automation testing. So I will go to, let's open one of our application. So assume that Codenbox AutomationLab.com, this is your application. Just assume that. Okay, this is your testing application. And here, what I want to say, let's do one testing. Say your testing is like, you have to ensure in this page, whatever the number of web element, everything, just to remember, everything in your application is called a web element. Even though it's a text, everything is a web element. So you have to find the number of web element where it has the link like active link. Okay, that's one, is one requirement. And then in this whole page, and then if you go all the way down on your footer, this is called footer. In your footer, you will find total number of link on your footer. That's another test case. And the third test case would be, underneath the footer, the first column of the footer, like meta. In first column of the footer, you will find number of link you have. Like we can see, at least you can see that this one, 2, 3, 4, 4 of them. And then you will ensure this 4 link is working. So you have to ensure that, you have to click on there, and then you have to make sure that's, for every link, there is a new window is opening. And also when it's a new window will open, for every link, we'll get the title of that each and every page, if there is a title up there. So title, it means, I hope that it's like when you visit any application, at the top, your var, you will see there is a title. Like over here for Codenbox, you can see the title is Codenbox Learn, Earn, and Be an Expert in Automation. This is your title. If you go Google, you will see there is a but some of the application they don't have the title. It depends. So that's our 3 4 test cases. Think about if you want to do this test cases, all those 4 test cases in manual. You have to check how many elements or how many web link you have in this page total. That's going to take a long time for sure, and it has a chance to to make a human error, because you have to check and then you have to add number 1 2 3 4. It's going to be probably 70 80, I don't know even. And then you have to find the total number of link on the footer. That will take also time. And then you have to click each and every on the first column. If you have to click each and every link over here, and then you have to visit that website, and then you have to make sure you get a title for each and every page, whether they have or not, right? So that's the scenarios. It will take quite a long time if you want to do it manually. So what if I want to do an automation? Let's do an automation. Okay, so here is the code of automation. I'm not going to go details to the code. This is not the time to explain you about your code. This is the Selenium, the code. Just through the Selenium WebDriver, we're going to do the same, exercise. So page is running on the other, other computer, other screen. So I just bring it over here. So everything is doing automatically. So launches the page. There was an ad, so I just want to minimize that. So it's working as long as you can see there is a scroll is going on. Probably will take a couple of times, couple of minutes. It depends on your server is speed, your internet is speed, but definitely way less than your manual task time. So it goes down. You can see there's a one page is already open for the first link. There's another page is open. Another page is open. It means it's already counted all the links in the in this page, and I already counted the footer links, and it started to clicking from the first column. So 4 link already been clicked. So there is a 4 page, right? So this one 1 2, and then this one, and then let me put it down, this guy, and that one. You can see a couple of them. This one doesn't have any title. This one have a title like a block tools publish platform, and this one the Codenbox. Okay, so the title it's found only 2 pages, and then this one it doesn't have the title. Okay, so if I close this, now here is the output. You can see total links are 103. Total links on the footer area, that the very bottom, is 15. Total links on first column are 4. We have seen, at least we can confirm that this one is right. And then this is the the title for the page. The first page is Codenbox Automation, and then another page we found the title is block tools, and this is the third page is the login for the another login page is title. So this is it took not even 2 minutes. This is the how reliable, how fast your speed, your test cases, your test coverage if you do automate other than manual. If you want to do manual, good luck. It's finding the first one like 103 links, from the whole page will take long time, definitely. Okay, and it has a chance to be human error. Okay, so this is just a very simple, a difference as we have as a demo, like a manual versus automation. Let's get back to our presentation. So the next would be, why you need automations. We have already now, very good idea, but if I just, have a little bit more details about the automation, so in terms of business perspectives. So business are nowadays adopting DevOps and cloud computing, which has changed software in service following agile process, what is continuous development, and the release goes in production, very frequently. I hope probably it's not everything is familiar to you, like the DevOps cloud computing, but this nowadays everything is based on cloud, right? Nowadays we don't use that much like the software that you install on your machine is which is called desktop based. So everything is based on a cloud. For the cloud computing, that's why it's a and the release is going very frequently. So to increase the effectiveness of DevOps or agile adoption requirement more and more, knowledge and practice of automation testing compared to any other time, it's more demandable. As a result, automation testing is considering as a significant part of the development. It is basically a set of concept, rules, and best practice which can follow in a systematic way to achieve their desired result. In fact, an automation process is the process to convert manual test cases to automate. Example, like in industry, you will see like they convert regression, their manual regression setup regression test cases to automation. There is smoke test case they convert from manual to automate. Those are the example, which is the takes most of the times, like more frequently they run smoke test or regression tests, and it takes longer time, like a repeated time. So that's why they prefer those of the main two types of testing to convert from manual to automate. So here's the few three key points, like if you want to nutshell the benefit about the automation testing. Number one, optimization of speed and accuracy. So it means once the tester are documented or scripted, automation testing takes less time than manual one. We have just seen that, right? Test automation is the way to make the testing procedure extremely efficient. The testing team can be strategically deployed to tackle the tricky test cases, that's specific test cases, while automation software can handle the repetitive, the time consuming testing that every software has to go through, which is called the regression I'm talking about, or you can say the sanity one. This result is to improve the accuracy as the automated test, the test perform the same steps precisely, the every time they are, executed and created details report. We have seen at the very end, like there is some details report, right? In our, when you ran that, right? It told you like the number of link was 103. So that's the report. But in industry, in industry, we'll see more professional report, like with a UI look. There is a report also comes with the the automation. It's a part of the automation project. So it is a great way to save your time, money, and resource, but also generate a high risk-free the application. So that's one of the benefits, like optimization of speed and accuracy. If you talk about the next point, which is the increase in test coverage. So what does it mean? It means automation software testing can increase the depth and scope of tests to help improve software quality. Lengthy tests can be run on multiple computer with a different configuration. Automation software testing can examine an application and investigate, memory content, data tables, file content, and internal program state to determine if the product is behaving as expected or not. Automation software testing can easily execute thousands of different complex test cases during a test run, providing coverage, and that is possible, only the automation. Okay, that's the give you the depthness of your test coverage. And then the last, the point would be the upgrading and reusability. The testing script in the software is reusable, which has many subsequent benefits. With every new test and bug discovery, the testing, the software directory can be upgraded and can kept up to date. That's even 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 though the automation tools looks expensive at the beginning, because you need a resource like a expertise, and the tools, sometimes the tools, some tools are also paid version. So at the beginning, the initiative of the automation, it's kind of a little bit sounds expensive, but it's give you the benefit for the long run. And that's one of the reason, still the company, they're all moving to automation, is because of the market competition, right? So let's just think about, probably 5 or 10 years way back, we didn't have you know any application, or even think about like the cell phone company. They probably barely release one model in a year, but now to see this, every company, they're releasing number of model in the same year. How is possible? Because of the agility. All the company, they adopt the agile process, and they're releasing within a very frequently, very shortly. Yeah, I have been in a company that they release every day. Whatever they do a code, at the end of the day, their release is goes to the direct to the production. So there is no choice to able, the possible to test to perform by the manual. If you have the most of the company, you will see the agile based, probably say every 2 weeks or every week the release is going to. So if you do manual testing, if you have a familiar with the manual testing, you need to do in-to-in or system testing or release testing before it goes to the production, which is the biggest number of test cases. It could be 400, 500, or 700 test cases. And if you have to perform all the test cases through manual process, it will take itself at least 7 days or 5 business days. Then how come a company then come to a decision that we're going to release every week or every 2 weeks? It's not possible. So that's why the testing, the automation comes to the picture now. And also nowadays, the different the automation API, it's coming to the market, which is most of them are free. Whether you talk about Selenium or you can talk about Cypress, there is a number of tools or APIs in the market which is free. So company now, every company, like small, whether it's small company, big company, they are now all welcoming the automation for their, to save their business hours for their own benefits. Also, it's a less expensive in regards the tool expense. What, even though the automation developer, they're a little bit expensive, but for the benefits they are getting, it's a way higher, way better than compared to the expense they are going to carry. So that's that, all three key points I can tell you that's the benefits of the automation, and or why the industry they're moving towards to automation testing. So next, so now we have been gone through like the testing, the manual testing, automation testing, just a little bit idea. Now, what about the future of QA career? If you're interested, if you're thinking, okay, whether you will start as a fresher or you have an experienced QA, you want to upgrade your skill. But it's one of the big $1 million questions. What is the future of the QA? Because we heard a lot of whisper like the AI is coming to the automation market. Is that AI is going to be cover, take off our job or not? All those things. Okay, so here is some statistics report. As per Global Market Insight, the software testing market globally in 2020 was $40 billion. It was in 2020. And they're projecting between 2021 to 2027, the CAGR increase will be 7%, which is 60 billion. So by the time of 2027, the market will be 60 billion. So if you have a doubt on your mind, okay, the AI is coming, we know, or it's already implemented, already injected in our technology, AI. So is that AI going to take off your job? No, you have to, you have to definitely, this is the, you can say sweet or sour part of the, to be an engineer or to be an IT person, that you have to keep learning. You have to keep learning. Your learning part will not stop. But the best part is like your job will be secure. You will make good money with the respect. Okay, so this is the global market overall idea, the market projection. If you talk about specifically US market, so gpi.com, they did a statistic report, and they're saying that software tester average salary in a US market is $91,000. The top 10% employee, they can make even over $130,000. Even though if you are not in top 10, but think about, like, your beginning will be around $91,000. I can give you an example. One of my students on last month, she got a job. In fact, a couple of my students, they got a job. One is in New York, another one is Florida. So the Florida one, she got a job, and she had a 10 years, almost 10 years education gap. And after a long gap, she, by the help of me or help of us, she able to land it on the job. And then, do you know how much her starting was? 110K. This is the real picture. If you consider in Canada market, yes, it's Canada market definitely way smaller than compared to US market, but still I can tell you, because I'm the market, as a market leader, I know what's the market situation. Your starting would be near about 80K. If you able to start as a automation developer or automation tester, that's a minimum 80K. 80 to 90K, that's the minimum. But even if you start as a manual, your starting will be near about 70, 75K. That's the Canadian market, I can tell you. Okay, so this is the overall idea about the QA career or software testing market currently and in the future. So nothing to worry. If there is any doubt or word belongs to this career, it will affect me first. Definitely, I will be scared first, because it's gonna be, I don't have any way to look back. I'm already forward a long way, right? So I don't have any other choice, quitting this and then move on another platform. But there's nothing to worry. Trust me. So next, who are we? So as Mr. Kondokar says at the beginning, like Codenbox and KSI Data Research, so we're the joint venture working together, and we're the first growing QA consulting automation development, based on online course-based platform based on the US and Canada, where the professional from software industry come here acquiring strong knowledge through experience in the last decade. We're committed to make the IT world easier and smarter for the stakeholder to make their vision live by providing complete software learning solution. We insist on open, honest, and fair relationship with our students, customer, and business partner. We believe this is the only way to build a trustful business environment. We trained over 200 plus students in different technologies. Our main, the most of the or very common the subject that we're teaching it's like manual and test management tool, Agile software testing process, Selenium, which is the web automation based on Java, and maybe we can do in Python too, but mostly it's based on Java. Then Cypress is a web automation based on JavaScript, VI developer, Power BI, and an SQL server. Appium is a mobile automation for Android and iOS. SOAP UI is a web service or REST API testing, and JMeter is the performance testing. Okay, that's the very high level idea about ourselves. Feel free to visit our site. You can have a more idea, more information in regards our company. So here's the course description, course snapshot. It's a very high level. I will give you, if you want, I will share the link. You can have a more details about the course in details. So what's exactly we're going to cover, what you are going to get. So the course is Selenium web automation from a scratch to robust framework using Java core manual. It will cover also manual testing and also the database. So it is a the combination of the course, like it will cover in manual automation and also database. Whatever you need, whether you are the fresher to land, you need to land on a job, or you are already experienced, you need to upgrade your skill, specifically automation. This will cover. It will mainly focus the automation, but we'll start with the manual testing for sure. You can see here is a high level idea about the coverage of the manual testing is like, you know, software started with the software test concept. We'll do the agile and some manual testing, using Jira tools and Zephyr tools, and we'll apply some of the concept we're going to learn over here. So this will be the first two, would be the part of the manual testing. And then Java, for we'll start from the Java. Is from the very beginning. We'll assume that you don't have any language idea. So if you don't have ID background, language idea, nothing to worry. You have to be a patient and have to be with us. And it will start from the beginning, how to declare even variable, from where the Java started. And I assume that everyone, so doesn't have, none of them have any experience. So we'll start from the scratch, and we'll take you to the up to advanced part of the Java, which is the OOPS concept, as much as you need to do your automation or build your automation framework. Then we'll move on the Selenium WebDriver and start again from the Selenium from the scratch to advanced framework like a TestNG, the Maven, all those things. We'll learn one of the official or industrial based report, which is called ALO report for Selenium. So that this is the one of the report most of the industry company they use. At the end of the script you're running, you will supposed to get a report. This is one of the report that you can share with your upper management. Then we'll learn the continuous integration with the Maven. Jenkins is the continuous integration actual tools. We'll see this in Jenkins, how you can create your project. And then, with the project, your code, whatever you do on your local machine, it should be in some server, which is called Git or GitHub or GitLab. Most of the companies, they use all a Git, GitHub or GitLab. So you will push your code to the Git and GitHub. And then Jenkins, there will be, it's a continuous integration tools. There will be project. You will create a project and you will link your project with your source code where it is GitHub. And then you can run your script, your test script from the Jenkins. Not like, you've seen that I ran the script from my local machine because of this webinar. But in real life, it have to run from the one of the CI/CD tool like a Jenkins or Circle CI, and so on. But Jenkins is the most of the company they use. So we'll learn also Jenkins over here. And then lastly, we'll learn have a database essential for testing. So database, if you're fresher, most of the times, even though you go for whether it's automation or manual, you need some very basic concept of database, like, how to use most of the time the select query, some of the joins, most of the times, some of the joins you need. So like nothing like you are not going to create any program, any function. All you have to know how to use or how to do some query to retrieve the data from the database. Because as a QA, even though you do some backend testing, all you have to know how to retrieve the data from different table or different column, so that you can match with your input, like you do the input from the front end, right? So that's all you need. Whatever you need, we'll cover everything. That's end-to-end course. We'll cover, to land you on a job as a first time, or to improve your skill, whether you have probably you have a manual experience, but you need to improve your experience for automation. If you're in the market, definitely the demand of the automation. So our main focus would be in automation, which is the based on Selenium WebDriver. And after the course is done, we'll give you non-stop job support. It's like, if you need help to build your resume, we'll help you, to build your as a professional resume. We'll give you some interview question discussion with some solution. Since, as a market leader, I know the company's demand most of the times. And I take interview for my own team and the different, for different companies also. So I know, what type of question usually we ask, what type of things, we were looking for a candidate. So whether it's like technical question or behavioral question, what type of answer you should give, even though you don't have the right answer, how you can present yourself as a smarter with a confidence. So I will give you all those things. And also, if you want, even we'll arrange a mock interview, to boost up your confidence, to see that how you respond, where your level, do you need more time, do you need more practice, all those things. And definitely the professional reference you need. After you crack your interview, you need a couple of professional reference. We'll cover that part too. So this is a one-stop, place service that it will not give you help you to improve your knowledge, not help you to land a job, but also give you the support. If you follow all those things, I can ensure that you will be the luckier person like my other students who are successfully landed on the job. Okay, so that's the overall. If you want still the course details, if you go, let me show you where you can find the course details. You can go, codenboxautomationlab.com or KSI data research over there. There is a, if you go all the way up, then the courses, the Selenium Automation. This is the course Selenium Automation. Then you can find, all details course over here. This is the breakdown, all the course details. Like when I say software testing concept, what is exactly we're going to cover? You can see more breakdown over here. When I say Agile or test management, what are we going to cover? So the Java Essential, here is all the things we're going to cover as a Java Essential. This is the Java, and then this is the core part of the Java. Like what we're going to cover. That's a lot of stuff. Trust me, it's a lot of stuff. But it's possible. We're not commercial like other companies. Like within 30 hours, we'll complete your course. No, those kind of things we don't believe. We believe on your success. So we'll make sure that we move all together. We're on the same page, and we understand, learn, do the enough practice, so that you're confident in the job during the interview. Okay, so this is the course description. Feel free to browse there and get the more idea about the job. So you can get this, the job description, also case data research on an application. So whether any place you can find it. And lastly, it's QA session. So hope that we have still 10-15 minutes. It's good. So let's start the QA session. Floor is open. Please move on. You can ask whatever the questions you have.
Hi, I just wanted to thank you again, Shariful, for your nice presentation. And okay, so now our question and answer session start. So feel free to ask any question you have in your mind, and how about how many days, time, everything you have in your mind, you can ask the questions. Okay, go ahead, please. Thank you.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Shariful, for your nice presentation and very much informative. So this the limitations of time. I have a few questions just like to ask you. My first question is, I have decided 1 month back, 1 2 months back, to learn the software testing. So due to this, I have started learning Python and MySQL towards learning for Selenium. So I have gone through your website and found that you need Java for 2 modules. So my question is, how much is the level for learning this Java? This is very deep level or just a very introductory level?
Thank you. What's your name, please?
My name is Iftekhar, though
Iftekhar.
my display is showing Jamaluddin Ahmed. My brother.
Yeah. Okay, so Mr. Iftekhar, the thing is, if you're already insist to learn Python, did you feel comfortable with Python?
Yeah, because the Python, it seems to me, is much easier than Java.
In one sense, I will agree with you. Yes, it's a Python syntax is easier than compared to Java, okay. But logically, it's most of the high-level programming language. It's the same. So, example, like if you think about loop, I hope that you did some of the loop, right? Whether it's a for loop or while loop, do while loop, all the concept, it's the same. The logic is same, whether you do a Python. That's why you will see nowadays, even when you see the job description, they don't specify that much about the specific program. They said, you have the idea about one automation tools or API and with one language. Sometimes they say, but it's not something like, they said they are very strict on this, because the program is, most of the high level program is concept the same, whether you learn Java or Python, but syntax wise, it's different. And as per the syntax, yes, Python is a little bit easier than in Java,
Yes.
but the reason why we picked the Java, there's a couple of reasons. The market, the job based on the Java job is for the automation is still is leading. The Python, it's a way below than in Java, and based on Java, Selenium WebDriver is in the market. It's been a decade. It's a very strong community. You will find, if you have any issue, you search on online, you will see there is a number of people, they face the same issue, and there is an answer with based on Java. That's why we picked the Java, because of our candidates benefits, because of the job demand. So most of them are based on Java. I can do in Python too. I have the option to do the Python, but by the market analysis, this is the most of the things, like the companies, they said, okay, for automation, you have to go for the specifically for Selenium. It's most of the times it's a Java, so it shouldn't be problem if you are able to start with the Python and you're comfortable with the Python. You shouldn't be problem with the Java.
Hi, this is Manikanta. I'm
Go
from
ahead.
Canada.
Yes, go ahead, your question.
So
Yes.
I don't have any prior experience in IT testing, and I don't have any experience in the computer knowledge. But I'm trying to move into testing. My only confidence is that I will be able to understand English and able to sustain. If I get to know the things how it works, that's the only confidence I have. And most of them people are suggesting me to go for testing. And I'm just wondering, it's been like I'm 36 right now. Last when I was studying in like 14 years back, will I be able to sustain in this testing market or not? What are the things I need to be focused on to get sustained? Will I be able to understand the course or not?
Thank you. I think it's this is a very important question. I think there's a lot of people, they have the same type of question on our mind, especially there whoever had the gap. So the first of all, you have to be very committed. This course, during the course, you have to be committed. You need some effort, since it's if you are from the different background even, right?
Yes.
So you are from the different background, so it means it's everything new for you, even though it's manual testing. So it's a
Yes.
whole new world for you. It's
Yes.
achievable, because how old are you? Are
36.
36 is nothing. I have currently, I can tell you, I have a currently students who are 56 in Canada. 56, and then he was one of the MD, and it's a high position in the back home, but there's a lot of things happening. He was injured a lot, and then so it's come to Canada. So now he's able to pick up that, and he was recently he was affected by COVID, but still he was joining the class. He was enjoying the class. So I have most of our community peoples, that's I would say 30 to 20% people, they're above around 50 so it is possible to pick up. It's not a rocket science. And now in my courses, we design that a way so that it can be applicable for anyone. But here is, I need your commitment, that you have to commit it, like, okay, I will afford my time. What do you mean the effort? Like next 3 months during the course, you try to be present on the class. You try to be with the class. It means you shouldn't pile up your homework or whatever you are going to learn. It's a lot of people, they feel, okay, it sounds very easy, okay, let's I will learn next week. But if you pile up, that's gonna be your backlog is gonna be it will be bigger and bigger. So then you will not able to cover it, because there is a learning curve. If you're committed, not nothing too much, I can tell you that a weekly, probably 2 to 3 hours, 3 hours on every week, except the class time. And beside, I can tell you that some supporting. Usually, I follow. I do most of my the classes. I do record.
Yeah.
If the people could have an emergency issue, right? So that they can go through the recorded one on
I
later on.
see.
As well, if it's still you need some assistance, if you miss a couple of classes, I will do one-on-one. That's what the favor I do. If you're committed that much, you will be very successful. And then until you get a job, we'll guide you. You have to just follow the guide. I can tell you most of my students, they are from non-IT background, and the people they're getting a job, most of them are from the non-IT. It's possible, it's doable. All you need your commitment. You have to trust yourself. And it's possible even at the older people. I didn't mean that the older people in different ways, but it's like around 50 years, the students of mine, they're happily able to land on the job. And
My question is, you said older people, right? They are born and brought up in like
no,
different countries, or the
yes,
basic
yes, a different
Indian,
country. They are immigrant. Most of them are immigrant. They come from most of this India and Bangladesh.
Okay. Because I try to, like, I tried like so many times for watching the videos, like, 1 2 hours, but I'm not able to understand the things, and just like, I always give up. But
Yeah, because
but I
that's why you need it. There is always difference, the real life class and tutorial. I can tell you honestly that the course I'm going to cover is 80% already on my YouTube channel, 80 to 90%. But it's still why people come to me, because they need someone who can walk through together. you know when you will understand, you will find the path, and you will able to walk, then you can roll by yourself. But it's a hard.
so
Mhm.
you're going to help me on one-on-one, or like in the course, or like just, or in the groups, you go on teaching, and
It's
that
you
would
will
be
be
finished.
you will be part of the group, not one you will be part of the group, but I will talk and make sure that everyone understand, and everyone, we're all on the same page, we're all moving together. If you have an
Okay.
issue, if you really have an issue, you need insist or help one, I will do. I because I believe on your success. That's my the core thing. This is not to be honest, I can tell you, this is not my business. I can survive, whatever God give me, I can survive without this taking class. But one of the big reason, our trust belief to helping our community, especially the people who are migrated. This is one thing, since I really believe, this was the reason why I started to teaching, in a weekend, from my personal life, I can giving that time. So you have to believe yourselves, and then move on with me. You will see that confidence. If someone comes from different background like HR, the management, if they are able to pick up, and they are around like 50 years old, 45 years old, you can easily pick up. All you have to trust yourself.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so who's the next?
Hi.
Yeah, go ahead,
Um,
please.
Hi, it's me, Rashad, from Canada, western part of Canada. I have some specific question for Mr. Shariful. And first of all, Mr. Shariful, thank you very much for your presentation. I really liked it. There's a lot of technical things just went over my head, just couldn't understand it. But I would say I'm from I don't know nothing about computers, if I may say. So you already answered a lot of like many questions that cleared up my mind. Now I got like four specific questions. You said the course is going to be 4 months, and the course curriculum that I just checked out, that's a lot. So
It,
you're saying that per week there are two
it's a
three
three.
hours
Sorry,
cut it
just
in.
to interrupt you. It is a 3 months, not the 4 months.
3 months.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, 3 months. So it's around 12 weeks. We're talking about 14 tools to learn. I would just try to count all the tools that you were talking about. So around 14 to 15 tools. Now, being a person from a different background, say I studied in agriculture, right? I always studied in agriculture. And what's my success rate? Do I have to have a background of mathematics because you were talking about programming? Do I have to have this? I mean, that's the one of my like major question. Now, the second one is, what are the skill levels that I require to land in a job? The third question is, do you have a test lab? Can I go ahead and do projects with everyone and submit it to you? And you can have a look and come back saying, hey, this is okay or this is not. Do you have that automated test lab available? And the last question is, uh, what is the success rate? You said that you already taught around 200 people across the globe. What's the success rate? I mean, how many people are on the land? If you can give us the data, that would be great. I understand. End of the day, it's my call how I'm going to do in an interview session, and it's personal. But I hope that you have the data. And Mr. Kandekar is the king of data, and he has those information as well, I guess. So if you can answer these four questions, that would be great. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thanks. Thanks, Mr.
Thank you,
Rashid.
Raghu bhai.
Okay, so let's go one by one. So you talk about the course description. So it is a 3 months course, and you talk about you ask about the 14 tools. It's not the tools. It's not the tools. We'll learn a couple of tools. The one tools will be like the Jira. Another tools will be like Zephyr, with the test management tools, and another one would be the WebDriver API. API, WebDriver, is not a tool. It is an API. So, and there is a big difference between tools and API. So overall, even though you consider as a WebDriver is a tool, it's a 3 tools we're going to learn, but it is mostly, it's a framework we're going to develop. We're going to, it's not a something tool is ready. Specifically, I'm talking about the automation, that it's a tool is ready, we'll just use the started a tool to the automation. It's not like that. You have to, build the framework, or using the default structure, then build the framework as per you need. And so here is the things, like it's mostly, we're going to learn this stuff, how to do it. And then during the learning session, we're going to do a lot of all the live project. Now it comes to the project regarding, so everything, it's based on the cloud. So there will be project, we have a number of projects. So like example, if you go to my sites, you will see there is a practice a page, and in the practice page there is some sample of the project. So that most of the times we'll use that project. It's not like only we're limited to that, use that project, but there is a lot of other companies project. We'll use sometimes Amazon, we'll use sometimes Facebook. It's a different application. We'll use sometimes different another companies, probably NetSuite. So that we have a different, we have the idea how to do different scenarios in automation, and it's a different domain. Like it could be the e-commerce, it could be the social media, all those things. So it is a combination. So that's the, now since everything's cloud, you don't need the, like a specific, I don't need that a specific one structure or one my own lab that you can go and test up there. The world is open. The web the world, it's everywhere. Any application you can test. It could be the the airlines, it could be that I said the e-commerce sites. So we'll have all different type of project, and all those are real life project. It's a live project, because when if you go to the Amazon, if you do any testing up there, it is currently live on right, it is a live project. So it's a similarly, if you go any other applications, this is all web-based, cloud web-based. So your lab is now it's open. There is no specific lab you need that you go. If you want any during the project, I will do the practice. Probably it's in one side. It's similar. You can find another side, or I will tell you, okay, let's do this. As your homework, you can do the practice up there. There's a similar type of application you can find, right? So then you can go up there. So it is the open. The lab is now is open. Nothing to limit it like the previously we used to have, because we didn't have the cloud-based technology previously. And number three, you came from the different background, even though it's you're from, you said agriculture, right? Whether you were agriculture or even HR, to me it's all a non-IT, but it's possible. Again, is I will repeat the same thing. I believe that as long as you have the confidence and you can commit at a time, this is the most important things that you have to commit, yourself, and you have to commit to me that I can do it. it's possible to it's possible to doable, because the people from my students, my experience, there's a HR people, there is a what's called, that's the chain, the business it's a business related supply chain. They came, they able to pick up it, and they able to transfer their career from their old passion to this new career. So it's possible to do, it's doable, as long as you have the the logical idea. You can understand that, the okay, this is the logic. It's one of the big thing as a QA. You will think as a user. So if you go any website, any application, what's your experience? Do you able to understand the application? Even though when you work, they will give you all the requirement, but it is, QA is nothing. They will represent as a user, the end user. As per the end user, the journey, they will write some test cases. And now its addition is like the manual test cases will convert as automation. And to learn to do the automate, that's what we are with you. We're going to help you from the very beginning. As I said, like I always think when you start the automation, I believe that you don't have any experience. You never did any programming. So I will start from the scratch, like when you start like alphabetical at the first times, like from the A B C D, as per the considering the programming knowledge, or consider the programming world. So it shouldn't be problem, since it's a proven number of my people. So they are able to land it on the job successfully. But you have to make sure that you are committed. If you are not able to, if you have a doubt, if you have not committed, like okay, I will be busy probably a couple of months, I'll be in the back home, back and forth, then it's not going to work. I can try. I mean, this is a very frankly things. You have to be committed at least another the around 3 hours a week, and with a class with me. That's all I want. Yeah, whatever you need, I will work through you. And what was the other success rate? I didn't count that, whether what's really the number, the percentage of my success rate. It's because it's I just probably a couple of batch, 2 or 3 batch I take in a year. My students coming, going, and they're giving me feedback. Probably this is something like I will make some data, see this what's the rate, but I can assume that it is 70 to 80%. Not everyone able to land, but this is my approximate idea. I can tell you 70 to 80% people, they were able to land in job both in US and Canada market. Is that give you the all of your answer?
Yeah, I have no doubt about your success, Zariful. You are a master of it. Kandikar is also a master of data. You guys are fantastic. No doubt. We're just asking about the student success rate. And as you said, you have only you have 80 to 90%. That's impressive. But let's see.
I mean, not all of them, that's right. I try, all of a sudden, to be honest, like, Mr. Khandokar, told me I think so just last night or yesterday we spoke, okay, to bring one of our, couple of our students. And I was so busy, I couldn't contract, my students then, it was too late, but I talked, I tried a couple of them. It's a summertime, weekend, they were all out of the cities. So hopefully the next time I will bring, a couple of the students, who already recently landed on the jobs, and so that you can, hear from there. Or I will try to make another, a recorded video so I can share, it's their journey and experience when they learn and after, how they landed on their dream job.
So here is Isha wrote something. Hi. On our post on social media, it was mentioned that job guarantees. So how this works? We will be surely getting a job at the end of the course. I'm asking as a beginner and fresher. So in this question, job guarantee, I think depend on you also, no? Like how you take it seriously. You can explain a little bit, like about this. Shariful. You can say when there's someone asking for job guarantee depend on how you take it seriously and how much you are dedicated. So that definitely, if you are, there is a 200,000 open job right now in the market. People are looking for a peoples. They couldn't find the peoples. So if you are prepare yourself on that level, definitely you will have a job. I can say that, but I think you can elaborate a little bit more about Shariful.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the people, when and after a few class, I got a overall idea who's really serious, who's serious, or who's have a doubt. And I can guarantee, I can tell you that the people I've seen who is like serious, each and every one landed job. Maybe it's like 1 or 2 months later, but they landed job. And I can give you the example, like, one of my he was my friend too, back home. And then he moved to states, and then she had a it's a 10 years the gap, the no corporate experience, no educations after that. And then recently, a couple of months, month ago, she was able to successfully land a job on Enterprise is a car rental company. So but one thing I noticed that, when she, even I didn't have a contract, she found me somewhere, by my other friends, through my other friends. And then the way she talked, she was really desperate, you know and then she, whatever she needed, she even pinged me, 1 o'clock in the morning. I didn't like it, but I give her the credit that she was really desperate. Then I said, okay, I will give you whatever support you need. But the main things that she try to learn is, she needs to, she was hunger to learn it. And she didn't have to wait even a month after she finished it. Within, I think, two or third weeks, after we complete the course, third week that she landed on job. So it is, I can, that, it is a guarantee that if you are really hungry, if you're desperate, it is not a rocket science. So manual testing is very simple, very easy. It just one part is added, which is the automation. And it's possible, right? So, and it's especially if you are in the US market, um, it is a whole, it's a much better shape in the US market compared to Canada. This is the real fact.
Yeah, that's why.
It's a US market that's a job, tons of job. As Mr. Kondoga says, it's a 200,000. It's like, the job opening, they are not finding the appropriate applicant. So it is, but nothing to worry about the Canadian market too, because now there's a lot of remotely they're hiring, even across the border. A lot of, a couple of my students, they got a job from states but living in Canada. They are working remotely. So now, overlap demand is spreading across the nation, across the border. Okay, so you have to believe in. I can tell you, if you believe in, if you're just with me, bother me as much as you need, and I will make sure also that you have the end-to-end coverage. Okay, I hope you got the answer.
All right. So if there anybody has any questions?
I just came up with another one, another good one, I guess. What's the possibility in government sector?
So it's a little bit tricky question. So it depends on your circumstance. If you have like kind job, currently you are working, you have a true, real job experience right now that we can put in a resume. Because in the government job, it's one of the big part is like reference check. You need a real reference. We'll give you reference, but as if you need, but that's not the, you know what I mean, right? So, but in a government job, you can't do this. Your resume have to be 100% true. If you learn something, that's fine, you can put it there. But in regards to your experience, usually they verify at least your last two experience, two company, and they want to direct, talk to the HR. So that's gonna be a little bit tricky to land right away on any direct bank or any government project. If you want to hire by direct, but there's a lot of third party company, they are hiring people for a government project. That's fine, like TCS, Tech Mahindra, they are hiring also people for the government people. That's fine, you can join those. But if you want to direct apply, with by customizing your resume, that's going to be a little bit tricky. You have to be very patient. First land on one of the jobs so that you have some real experience and real reference, and then I would say started to apply for the government, so that you don't close the door. Because if there is a misinformation up there, your door will be closed forever.
Okay. Yeah, Rashid, but I think that is the things I also worked before as a government job through the agency. So at that time is no problem actually. Even you don't have a lot of things they don't consider. But directly, then you have to go through the all kind of security check and all kind of things when it comes to directly to the government jobs. Anyway, so I think everybody, thank you for joining, and whoever interested, please contact us, and also we will also contact with everybody also as well, and see if you are interested, you will register, and our this class will start coming week, end of this month. I think next Saturday we're planning, so we'll talk about more one-to-one as well. Okay. So thank you everybody. Thank you again for joining. So we are going to end the session now. Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a good one.